to this episode. Today, we're tackling a topic that's becoming more and more relevant as AI tools weave themselves into our daily workflows. How to decide what to trust when AI sounds, well, too certain.
Yeah, it's something I think we've all run into. You ask an AI a question, and the answer comes back confident, clear, and perfectly structured. It's so fluent, so polished, that it's almost hard not to just accept it at face value.
Exactly. And that's really the heart of the problem. It's not just that A, I can be wrong, because, of course, it can be, but that its confident tone quietly replaces our natural impulse to double check or verify. When something sounds complete and polished, our brains just stop checking.
Right, it's a subtle trap. Our minds are wired to trust explanations that are well formed and fluent. So instead of asking, is this actually correct? We start thinking, well, this sounds right. And that shift, it weakens our critical thinking without us even noticing. Pav.
This is what the document calls the modern friction. In the past, when we got answers, say from a person, there were often hesitations, pauses, or even uncertainty. Those little cracks gave us a chance to question, to dig deeper. But now, with AI, answers come perfectly formed. No hesitation, no ambiguity, no visible gaps.
And that fluency feels like correctness, but it's really just a polished surface. It's like, imagine a smooth talking salesperson who delivers a pitch flawlessly, but underneath, the product might have serious flaws. The smooth delivery makes us less likely to ask the tough questions.
That's a great analogy. So the question becomes, how do we avoid falling into this trap? How do we keep our critical faculties sharp when the answers are so, well, convincing? On to it.
That's where the AIYING method comes in. Instead of asking AI, is this answer correct? Which, let's be honest, is a bit of a dead end, you ask, what assumptions is this answer making? And sometimes you add, under what conditions would this answer fail?
Those questions might sound simple, but they're actually quite powerful. They shift your focus away from how confident or fluent the answer sounds, and instead direct it toward the underlying structure, the assumptions that support the answer.
Because that's usually where errors and blind spots hide. AI's strength is fluency. It's designed to produce smooth, coherent text. But discernment begins where fluency ends, by examining the foundations beneath the surface.
It's interesting, isn't it? We tend to equate fluency with truth, but really, fluency is just a style. It doesn't guarantee accuracy. So by asking about assumptions, we're basically pulling back the curtain to see what the answer is really built on.
Exactly. And the document points out that this shift changes your mindset. Instead of being impressed by clarity or how well something is written, you become curious about how the answer is constructed. That curiosity restores your judgment.
It's a subtle but profound mental shift, from being dazzled by fluency to being skeptical and investigative. And that's crucial, especially when working with AI-generated content in expert domains where accuracy really matters.
Absolutely. I think many of us have had moments where we accepted an AI answer too quickly, just because it sounded so confident. But over time, I've found that pausing to ask about assumptions really changes the game. It makes me less impressed by the surface and more interested in the details underneath.
Same here. It's like moving from being a passive consumer of information to an active investigator. And that's a skill we need to develop, especially as AI becomes more integrated into our work.
So, practically speaking, what does this look like? The next time you get a well-written, convincing AI answer, pause. Take a moment. Ask yourself, what assumptions is this built on? And then, don't hesitate to ask the AI to expose those hidden layers. Ask about failure conditions, edge cases, or limitations.
That's a great habit to develop. Trust in the age of AI has to be an active skill, not a passive reaction. Whether you're doing research, making decisions, or just gathering information, this approach helps you stay sharp and avoid being misled by fluency alone.
It reminds me of those polished presentations you see sometimes, flawless slides, smooth delivery. But if you don't dig into the data or the assumptions behind the conclusions, you might miss critical flaws. Fluency is like the smooth delivery, but without checking the foundations, you're vulnerable.
And it's easy to fall into that trap because fluency feels so natural and reassuring. But as the document says, fluency quietly replaces verification, and that's where the danger lies.
So to sum up, the key takeaway is this. Stop trusting clarity alone. Start inspecting the foundations. Ask about assumptions and failure conditions. That's where true discernment begins.
And remember, this is a skill anyone can develop. It takes practice, but it makes us smarter and more resilient in an AI-driven world.
Exactly. Trust is no longer automatic. It requires active engagement and critical thinking. And that mindset of questioning assumptions and conditions will serve us well as AI tools continue to evolve.
Thanks for joining us in this conversation. We hope this gives you a useful lens for interacting with AI answers going forward.
Until next time, keep questioning and stay curious.